So we will be graphing this rational equation. The first thing we're going to do is convert the numerator and denominator into the factored form. So the numerator can be factored by difference of squares, so we alternate the signs, one's a plus, one's a minus. X squared splits as x times x, 9 splits as 3 times 3. The denominator can be factored using the trinomial method, where you say what multiplies to 12 and adds to 7, and that would be positive 3 and positive 4. So to convert this to simplified form, I'm going to check to see if the numerator and denominator share a factor. And I notice that there's an x plus 3 in the numerator and an x plus 3 in the denominator. I could cross those out because they simplify or divide as just one. So my simplified form would be x minus 3 over x plus 4. To find the vertical asymptote, I set the denominator equal to 0. So I have x plus 4 is equal to 0, so I get x equals negative 4. This is my vertical asymptote. To find any holes, I check to see if a factor got crossed out, and it did, so I set the x plus 3 equal to 0. This will give me my x coordinate of my hole, which is at x equals negative 3, and to find the y coordinate, I need to look at my simplified form and plug in negative 3 for x. So I have to plug in a negative 3 in the numerator, and I have to plug in a negative 3 in the denominator. So I get negative 6 over 1, which is negative 6. So that's where my hole will be. My horizontal asymptote, I check the exponents, and I notice that they're exactly the same. So I know the horizontal asymptote is at y equals the ratio of the numerator and denominator's lead coefficient, and that's 1 divided by 1, which is just 1. To find the x-intercept, I look at the simplified form, and I'm setting y equal to 0. So if you set y equal to 0, essentially, in order to get an answer of 0, all you have to do is set the numerator equal to 0. So if I set the numerator equal to 0, I add 3 to both sides, and I get x is equal to 3. So my x-intercept is at 3, 0. To find the y-intercept, I need to set x equal to 0. So if I look at my simplified form and plug in 0 for x, I would have 0 minus 3 over 0 plus 4, which is negative 3/4. So my y-intercept is 0, negative 3/4. So now I'm ready to graph. Let's take a look at my vertical asymptote. It is at negative 4, so I go to negative 4 and draw a dashed line. Looking at my horizontal asymptote, I go up to positive 1 on the y-axis and draw a dashed line. And then taking a look at my hole is at negative 3, negative 6, so I go 3 to the left and down 6. Right here's my hole. And then my x-intercept is at 3, 0, so I'm going from the origin 3 to the right. There's my x-intercept. And my y-intercept is 0, negative 3/4. So from the origin, I'm going down negative 3/4. So just by graphing the intercepts in my hole, I could see the right-hand side of the graph here. I should actually do that in a different color. So here's the right-hand side of my graph. Now I just need this left-hand side in relation to the vertical asymptote. So to get the left-hand side, you could plug in a value for x. If I plug in negative 5 for x into my simplified form, I would have negative 5 minus 3 over negative 5 plus 4, which is negative 8 over negative 1, which is positive 8. So I would go 5 to the left and up 8. That would be right here. If you want to try one more point, we'll plug in negative 7 into the simplified form. So negative 7 minus 3 over negative 7 plus 4 is negative 10 over negative 3. That's equal to 3 1/3. So at negative 7, you're going up 3 1/3, so that'd be about right there. So you could see the graph's going to be going like this on the left-hand side.